Hello everybody, this is Adrian Melito from Miami Acupuncture Therapy. I'm an acupuncture physician and with another episode for you on Melito's Revolutionary Remedies YouTube channel. And today we're going to talk about CBD because CBD has been very popular the last 2 years or so, and lots of different brands, makers popping up everywhere. It seems like every little store is selling them, and so there's a lot of misinformation out there. A lot of people are not informed. Then when you have like competing pharmaceutical industries, due to conflict of interest, there's information that's suppressed or etc. And I'm here to clarify some common misconceptions. First of all, most of the CBD that you see, the one that you don't need a medical card or a special license for, at least in the state of Florida, is CBD, and that comes from a plant, the industrial hemp. It's not the cannabis plant. It's not weed, it's not marijuana. It's the industrial hemp, which you could actually find the grounded seeds in most of the health food stores. You could just buy it. It's been around for years at health food stores, and it's not cannabis. Any THC that it has is so minuscule that it's negligible, that you don't even have to list it, or it's not even considered where it might have a psychoactive effect, or where, as far as like legalities would affect it, etc. So it's from the industrial hemp, and the CBD actually affects specific receptors that they weren't even discovered until like the early 90s, and because it's one of the only substances on earth that could affect that receptors, the receptors were actually named after it, CB receptors. There's the CB1 receptor, and then there's the CB2 receptor. There's one receptor that has more affinity for the CBD, and then there's another receptor that has more affinity for the THC, which is the one from the cannabis, the one that you need like a medical license for. And the one that you need the receptor for the cannabis and the THC, that one has some medical benefits. Under the right prescription and guidance, it can help with pain, severe pain. It can help with seizures, most particularly with some cancers. And that one, taken in high doses, can have a psychoactive effect. But even like in the prescribed form, if it's in the prescribed form and it's like in a sublingual, it's not like you smoke it. It's not like you're gonna smoke medicine like aspirin. The prescription THC, that one doesn't even have a psychoactive effect. The CBD, which does not even have THC, doesn't even have any chance of having any psychoactive effect because it doesn't even have any THC to begin with, and there's no legalities or licensure to deal with because it does not have the THC, the tetrahydrocannabinol. Now, the CB receptors that have the affinity for the CBD actually works differently than the receptors that accept the THC. They have a different effect. So like those receptors for the CBD are actually more beneficial for conditions like insomnia, probably one of the best remedies for anxiety, and it can help with things like lowering blood pressure, etc. And as a matter of fact, a lot of the medical doctors, they'll say, oh, you shouldn't take CBD because it might lower your blood pressure too much. If you're like on blood pressure medication, yeah, it's gonna be like a double dip. So I could see where that could be a precaution. But I think medical doctors should have an open mind and work with that, with the dosing, etc. But I think due to conflict of interest with pharmaceuticals, it's easier just to squash it as a possible side effect, whereas all the pharmaceuticals have a side effect if you don't know how to control the dosage and observe and etc. So you know, that's my 2 cents as far as that, you know, the political aspect of it. But the CBD, it has very beneficial effects on specific receptors, and you know, it should not be confused with the THC, the medical marijuana, the cannabis, because it's a different plant altogether and they're completely different. And sometimes it's kind of funny because I'll have a patient that'll be looking at my products and then they'll see the CBD and they're like, oh, what's that? And then when they see that CBD, it's almost like a middle school peer pressure type of thing, like, oh no, I don't do that stuff. That's not for me, you know. I don't do drugs or anything. So it's kind of funny. So like, you know, you try and inform them and educate them, but you know, in time, hopefully people, you know, will become educated and become familiar, hopefully, with videos like this one. So as far as like CBD, another thing about CBD is there's so many companies making it. It's kind of difficult. There's no regulation on quality control. At the time being, for example, I think the companies that eventually emerge as the best companies will be the ones who do things the right way. Because there's so many companies they'll mix in, like, you know, instead of being like a pure extract tincture, they might put a little bit of water in it. They might like mix it with something else, or you know, there's no way to test how pure it is or how, you know, 100% in milligrams it is. If it has, you know, all the terpenes of the plant. You know, there's some places that if you don't know exactly where it's sourced from, you know, if it's grown in a place where there's pesticides or anything like that, you know, quality control, that could be an issue too. So like, I make sure like the ones I sell in my office, it's really well sourced, it's high quality, and the few high quality products that are out there, sometimes the negative aspect is the markup is way too pricey, even at the distributor level. And I think you can still be profitable, have a quality product, and not have it be like so high mark. You know, usually like 1,000 milligram, like 1 ounce will be like $100 usually for the more reputable, proven companies. But I did find one Colorado-based company called Susan CBD, and these retail for $50 for 1 ounce, and it's taken like sublingually, so you know, you hold it for a minute, the absorption is better. So so it's very natural and it really helps. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment below. I'll do my best to answer all the questions. I should have this up on my web store within the next couple days. If it's not up already on my web store, it should be up within the next couple days. And a word from our camera person, spokesperson.
Make sure you like and subscribe this video, and make sure you give a thumbs up and hit the bell button. So yeah.
Alright, see you in the next video.